Today we're gonna make a diabetic-friendly vegan blueberry muffin, and even one with eggs because why not? Well, actually, after I made my vegan blueberry muffin recipe, one of my viewers asked me if I could take that recipe and use almond flour and make it diabetic-friendly. And I love a challenge. So over the last month, I was testing it with almond flour. In fact, I went through almost 3 pounds of it trying to get it right, and it was definitely a challenge. All right, this is day 2. I am trying, I think, my 4th batch. I've reworked everything just because I had PureCane, erythritol, and they went out of business last year or 2 years ago. So we're pivoting. I gotta admit, almond flour is not like regular flour, obviously, but it was so tricky to work with. It has no gluten, very little starch, and it's very high in fat. So it doesn't absorb water like regular flour. It really messes with the structure and crumb, and it makes things moist, and like not in a good way, like really wet. So as I work through the recipe, I even made a gluten-free option during a testing phase, and I'm finally happy to share with you a really delicious diabetic-friendly blueberry muffin. Now, I'm not vegan, nor am I diabetic, but I appreciate my viewers and I love a good challenge. Let's get started. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit so it's ready when the batter is done. Let's start with the vegan almond flour version. Start off by prepping the vegan flax eggs, which is 7 grams of ground flax and 37 milliliters of water, and because we need 2, we're doubling it to 14 grams and 74 milliliters. Let that sit for 10 to 15 minutes. Also, in a bowl, mash 1 ripe banana really well, about 90 to 100 grams. You can do this ahead of time like I did. When you let it rest like this, it tends to get a little sweeter because you're releasing the sugars. Now, in a large bowl, add the 2 flax eggs and your mashed up banana. Then, add 25 milliliters of plant milk and 30 milliliters of oil. Then I'm adding 4 packets of Truvia or your favorite sugar alternative, and you could add more if you like it a little sweeter. Next, I'm adding a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon or cap of vanilla extract. Stir until smooth. You really want to make sure the banana is mashed up well, otherwise you could get banana bits in your blueberry muffin. Now, let's prep the dry ingredients. Start with 100 grams of almond flour and add 40 grams of whole wheat flour. From what I understand, whole wheat is better than regular for diabetics, and adding this much really improved the structure. Then, 1 tablespoon of coconut flour or cornstarch for the same reason, structure. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda for rise, and the zest of 1 small orange. This really made the muffins pop with flavor and melded the banana, flax, and blueberries together. And add a pinch of salt. Whisk until combined, and do your best to make sure there are no clumps like this one I found of baking powder or baking soda. Add the dry to the wet and mix it up nicely, just don't overmix it. As it comes together, fold in about 80 grams of fresh blueberries that are lightly sprinkled with some whole wheat flour. It helps prevent them from sinking allegedly. My testing was honestly inconclusive for these muffins. In a prepped muffin tin, I'm going to cut off the tops of my tall liners. I know they look pretty, but this could prevent proper airflow, so I suggest you do the same. Vegan batters don't work the same as regular muffins, so let's help it along however we can. Now, I'm going to scoop this batter with a cookie scoop into 6 muffin cups, filling about 2/3 full or at least evenly distributed. Now, here's what I would do. I would bake for 8 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. That helps with the rise, and take them out and then set the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Wait 5 minutes and pop them in and then bake them for about 20 minutes more. But I'm going to put together the other batch first so we can bake them together to minimize any differences. Now the second version. This one uses eggs for binding and structure. In a bowl, add your 2 whisked eggs and about 90 to 100 grams of mashed ripe bananas and give it a mix. I advise you to whisk up the eggs first so they combine better, but you do you. Once combined, add 4 packets of Truvia, 25 milliliters of plant milk, 30 milliliters of neutral oil, and then a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon or cap of vanilla extract. Stir until well combined, and again, you want to make sure the banana is thoroughly mashed here. Now combine the dry ingredients, and since it's similar to the first, I'm going to power through it. 100 grams of almond flour, clump-free, And this bowl has 40 grams of whole wheat flour, 1.5 teaspoons baking powder, half a teaspoon baking soda, and I'm going to add a pinch of salt and the zest of 1 small orange. Mix until just combined. Then, in case you think I forgot, but I'm just keeping you on your toes, just kidding, I forgot for a second, I'm adding a tablespoon of coconut flour or cornstarch if you don't have coconut flour. Then, combine the two and mix them together. Once a little combined, we can fold in about 80 grams of fresh blueberries, lightly dusted with whole wheat. Again, does it sink? I can't say for certain. Divide the batter between 6 muffin cups, and again, I'm cutting the tops here as well for consistency and popping both batches into the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 minutes. When that is done, I'll take them out, lower the temp to 350 Fahrenheit, I'll wait 5 minutes to give the oven a head start, and pop them back into the oven for 20 minutes or so, or until they're set and come out clean with the toothpick test. And we are done. We got 2 muffins. We had to let them cool down. Trust me, they are so much better. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but here's what I learned, okay? We're going to break open these and try them. So this one is the flaxseed vegan muffin. It is a little rough looking, but it's held together. Not bad. All right, decent structure. Sweet from the blueberries. You don't taste the banana. You taste the flaxseed. But flax seeds are really healthy for you. And this is the one with eggs. This looks like a really decent looking muffin. Good structure, a little more put together. This tastes like a regular muffin. Not that sweet because we didn't put any refined sugar. All natural. A little bit of Truvia. You could probably put a little bit more. But the blueberries are really good, and the banana helps. So here's what I learned. The vegan one, almond flours, they look rough, not gonna lie to you. The outside for sure. Inside, very tender, a little dense, moist but dense, but yummy. And all things considered, the banana and the flaxseed held everything together. Now, the regular egg one just had a better rise, a better crumb. It wasn't as like wet or dense. It was a little lighter, which is nice. You don't taste the banana at all. So if you're not vegan and you can use eggs, and this is definitely diabetic friendly because it's not sweet at all. Now, I will say that these are the vegan ones that I made last night, and I let it cool down completely. It does hold up much better, okay? So as far as structure, if you make these muffins, you gotta let them cool down completely. This was definitely a challenge. I have to say that almond flour is not easy to work with, but we did it. I think they're really great. They're not too sweet, they're naturally sweet, and they got great structure. I hope you give them a try. Thanks so much to my audience member for suggesting it, and I'll see you in the next one.